Hello, Bengal fans, and thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Bengals in Paradise. I am your host, Chasten Scott, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Bengals re-signing Mike Gesicki to a 3-year deal. What's next? Is Tee Higgins on the horizon for our next big contract? And I'll also be discussing my free agent predictions on not what I think the Bengals will do, but what I think the Bengals will do. And I'll be breaking all that down in today's episode. But before I get into all that, if you guys like my content, can you guys please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone. Greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into today's video. First, I just want to say, when I seen the news that Mike Gesicki resigned to a 3-year deal yesterday, I was just not stunned, but I was surprised because I didn't think that would get done. I thought that would be something that they would try to work out in free agency. But I'm real glad that it happened before free agency, because there was like a low chance that Mike would probably return to the Bengals. Like, I knew there were many teams that were courting him and would have been interested in him, and I know for a fact they probably would have gave him more money than what the Bengals have offered. So I'm just glad that deal got done and we don't have to worry about all that dilemma. So I'm so happy that Mike Gesicki is back, and it's something that I think needed to happen, because when it comes to the offense, and especially with Joe Burrow, he never had a stability, like a stable tight end. It was always like a 1-year rental on players when it came to that position. When he first came into the league, it was CJ Uzomah. He departed, and then it was Hayden Hurst. He departed. Irv Smith Jr. He departed. And unfortunately, that one didn't work out. But Bengals finally found that tight end that they've been, missing, and that they can finally have for the long haul. And Joe can build a relationship with. So I was happy to see that Mike is returning for 3 years, and I just feel like he was the best tight end that Joe has ever had in his Bengal career. And that's no knock on the other tight ends. It's just a fact. Mike Gesicki is the most talented. He's the most proven, most productive tight end that Joe has ever had in his career. So I'm just happy Mike returned in the fold. 3-year, $25.5 million contract. So I'm excited, what's on the horizon for Mike. I expect big things from him. He's your third wide receiver / tight end. He can do it all. So I'm just happy that he's back in the mix for this offense. And tight end, when it comes to the tight end position, it doesn't really feel that big of a need anymore. They re-signed Cam Grandy, who was a blocking tight end. They still have Drew Sample in the fold. He's a blocking tight end. And before they re-signed Mike Gesicki, they also brought back Tanner Hudson to a 1-year deal. And I feel like Tanner and Mike are both receiving tight ends. So when when they have, and not even including Tanner McLaughlin, his 2nd year going in this season. So they have 5 tight ends on the roster as of right now. So I feel like it's not really that big of a need now. So that's good that, Bengals don't need to back themselves up in a corner where they feel like they need to address tight end early in the draft, or make a desperate move in free agency and overpay for somebody. So I'm just glad that the tight end position is kind of been taken care of, and now they can worry about their other needs moving forward. So I'm just glad that the tight end position has been taken care of. Now, moving along to the next topic, I want to talk about what's next for the Bengals. And Bengal fans, I hear you. It's real frustrating when you see other teams spending so much amount of money for their star players, and getting contracts done and not worrying about all the guaranteed money. I hear you, Bengal fans, and I totally get it. I'm on board. And being a Bengal fan for 20 years, it is frustrating. But I have always been the type of, the optimistic, glass half full kind of guy. And, I'm just optimistic, and I truly believe things will get done. You just gotta have patience, and I know that's really hard to do with the time being, and it's already free agency eve. Tomorrow's free agency, and I get all that. But let's just give this team a chance, see what they do. Free agency starts tomorrow. It's only the beginning, so let's give them time to see what kind of moves they decide to make, and hopefully they can get things done. But for me, what's next on the horizon when it comes to like these big signings, I would like to think it would be Tee Higgins, just because he's on the franchise tag, and they want to just nip that in the bud. They can save a lot of money instead of just paying the $26 million that is owed to him if they just keep him on the franchise tag. I'm sure that both parties want to get something done before free agency starts. So let's see what happens. But if you used to ask me what I think would be the next big move after the Mike Gesicki signing, I think it would be Tee Higgins, and no excuse not to get it done. Pay your stars. It's just simple as that. Tee Higgins wants to be here. Bengals want him to be here. Bengal fans want T to be here. So it's just a match made in heaven. So I hope both parties can find some sort of common ground and agree to a massive contract. And hopefully it's today, because like I tweeted in my Twitter X just recently, like, Bengal fans are in haywire right now. Like I said, I get it. It's tough times right now being a Bengal fan, but hopefully they can make some big headlines today. It's still early, especially Hawaii time. It's only 7:41, so hopefully they still have plenty of time today to make some big splashes or big moves today. Whether it's re-signing T, paying Jamar, most likely trading Trey. But we'll see. But it's still Sunday, and there's plenty of time to make something happen today. So I hope that's the case. So, like I said, if you used to ask me, the next big move that I truly believe that would happen is paying Tee Higgins a massive deal. If I was to just speculate, it would probably be like a four-year deal, roughly $30 million annually. So we'll see. Hopefully they can get things done. I've seen reports out there that both T and Jamar are now in Cincinnati, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully they flew down here to work out some sort of contract. I didn't expect them to just come here just because. I hope they can, like I said, I hope they can come to some sort of common ground and agree to these new deals that they're both expecting. So time will tell. We'll see on that. But like I said, it's plenty of time to today before free agency starts. So we'll see. Let's give this team a chance and see what kind of moves they make for the time being. And last but not least, I want to talk about my free agent predictions that I think the Bengals will do, who I think they're going to be targeting starting tomorrow. It's free agency eve. It's basically like Christmas for football fans. I am totally excited for tomorrow. And with these certain players that that I'm going to explain to you guys, who I think the Bengals will sign, I just feel like they're perfect fits for what the Bengals are looking for. So, without further ado, I'll be talking about my targets right now. But the only tricky situation is, I don't know if they're going to sign two guards. I don't know if they're going to sign two defensive tackles. I don't know if they're going to double down on defensive end now because of the whole Trey Hendrickson situation. But, regardless of all that, I'm going to just be saying my predictions on who I think the Bengals will be signing. So I'm going to start on the offensive side of the ball. First is the guard position. I think the Bengals are going to try to go after Patrick McCarry, the guard from Ravens. He just seems like the perfect fit. And not only that, Patrick is, he's real versatile. He can play basically all the positions across the offensive line. And that's something that I know Bengals value. and he's someone that won't break the bank as well. You can possibly get him to like a similar type of contract that you got Alex Capa for, which was a 4-year, $40 million deal, which was $10 million annually. I believe you can get Patrick to that around that ballpark. So, and not only that, Patrick McCarry is within the division. I know that's something that the Bengals value as well. They want somebody who's familiar with the division, because we all know, Bengal fans, that this division, the AFC North, is a black and blue division. It's physical, it's tough, so I'm sure they want to, it's just a cherry on the top when they find linemen that are within the division. They know how to play within the division. They have experience within this division. So I feel like Patrick McCarry is a perfect fit for this Bengals offense. Peg him down as a left guard, put him in between Orlando Brown Jr. and Ted Karras, and the left side is solidified, in my opinion. So that's who I think the Bengals are target when it comes to guard spot, is Patrick McCarry on the left guard spot. Now, if they do decide to double down on that position, I could see a scenario where they sign Patrick McCarry and they go maybe after Kevin Zeitler. I know there's people think there's bad blood between them because they lowballed him twice, I believe. But I feel like the third time's a charm, and everything can be bygones if they just find like the right contract. And Kevin Zeitler, he's not getting any older. He's going to be 35 this upcoming season. So if Bengals give him the right offer, I'm sure Kevin would want to come back in open arms and try to win a ring in Cincinnati. And what better way to ride off into the sunset is playing with the team that drafted you. So I think that would be a match made in heaven too. And not only that, but Kevin Zeitler has tremendous experience when it comes to playing within the division. He played with the Browns, he played with the Ravens, and he played with the Bengals. So he knows what this division is all about. And not only that, despite being, he's going to be 35 years old, he's playing at a really, really high level. And it looks like he's not going to, dwindle down anytime soon. And he's someone that I believe that you could get him for the cheap too, like a 1-year, $6 million deal. And that's not breaking the bank. I truly believe that if Bengals were to double dip, I think they would go that route where getting Patrick McCarry and getting Kevin Zeitler to man that right guard spot. And right there, that would be the best O-line on paper that Joe Burrow has ever had in his Bengal career. Starting from left to right, you got Orlando, Patrick, Ted, Kevin, and Amarius. That is a hell of a offensive lineman. So if they are to double dip, I feel like those would be the two particular guys that Bengals would sign. But if they just decide to just go that one route, I believe that Patrick McCarry would be the target. And with the other guard spot, they'll probably just draft a rookie, resign Cody Ford, and have Cordell. So all three of them battling out for that other guard spot while Patrick McCarry mans down in the other. So when it comes to the guard position, that's my free agent predictions. Moving along to the defensive side of the ball. When it comes to linebacker, I don't believe that they're going to be spending a ton of money on that position, especially because if they don't find a trade partner, they're going to end up releasing Jermaine Pratt. Now, he's due $5.6 million, so if Bengals don't even want to keep Jermaine off of that cap hit, I believe they're going to find a replacement that's going to be, if not similar, but under that 5.6, money. So I believe Bengals are going to try to find something for a bargain bin replacement, someone that has plenty of experience, plenty of starting reps when it comes to this league. And there's a couple of linebackers in this free agency market that I feel would be perfect fits for the Bengals. So if you used to ask me, narrowing all down who I think the Bengals are to sign, to me the perfect fit would be Devin Bush, the linebacker from Browns. He's still only 26 years old, but has plenty of experience. And we all know, Bengal fans, that back in the 2019 NFL Draft, Bengals had a lot of interest in Devin Bush. They're probably going to take him with the 11th pick if Steelers didn't come in, trade up to the 10th and swoop him. And so I still believe that there's plenty of interest from the Bengals to get him for the cheap. And he's someone that kind of had a breakout last year with the Browns, and if you check his PFF grades, he played really well. And not only that, he's extremely athletic. He tested elite in the combine. So you could get a top athlete that I think is still finding out his true potential, and you could get him for a cheap deal, maybe like a 2-year deal, $4 or $5 million annually. So why not? I feel like Devin Bush will be the perfect fit for this Bengals defense, lining up again alongside Logan Wilson. And not only that, but he also has experience with playing within this division. He played with the Steelers and he played with the Browns, so he knows what this division is all about. So Devin Bush is someone that I feel Bengals will be targeting, and he's my prediction for the linebacker position. Now, if they don't go that route, another guy that I could see potentially Bengals looking at is Cody Barton, linebacker from the Broncos. Him as well. He is someone that is still relatively young, 28, and he's someone that won't break the bank and very athletic. And I feel like if they don't go after Devin Bush, Cody Barton might be the next choice. And like I said, he would be a valuable replacement if when Bengals decide to let go Jermaine Pratt. I feel like he would fill the role very nicely alongside Logan. So he's my backup choice, Cody Barton from Broncos. But Devin Bush is the one that I feel would be the perfect fit for this Bengals defense. Now moving along to the defensive line. When it comes to defensive tackles, I'm not the only one that brought him up. I see a lot of Bengals reporters and national media saying this particular guy, and it just makes too much sense. But Levi Onwuzurike, Lions defensive tackle, he's someone who's still young. He just turned 27 last week. He shows a lot of upside, but a lot of injuries, and I feel like that's why you could get him for the cheap, kind of get him to like a similar BJ Hill type of deal, like a 3-year, $30 million deal, $10 million annually. I feel like he'll be the perfect fit because Bengals like to go find players that are coming off their first contract but still didn't reach their full potential yet, and Levi is the perfect example of that. I feel like if they can bring him in, Jerry Montgomery can bring out the best in Levi, and it will look like a steal, if he truly plays like how I think he can play. And if you get him for $10 million annually, that's like a steal in free agency. So Levi, I think, would be a perfect fit for this Bengals defense because they need a penetrating 3 tech, and we've been missing that for the longest time. And I just want to see that void taken care of. Tired of seeing a lack of interior pass rush, and I feel like Levi can come here to Cincinnati and provide that. And he's, like I said, he's still young. He just turned 27, so sky's the limit for this guy. And Levi is someone who would just fit this Bengals defense. So when it comes to the defensive tackle position, Levi is my pick. Now, if they double down on that position, try to look for like a particular maybe nose tackle to play alongside Levi, and have Chris Jenkins and McKinley Jackson play that defensive tackle 3 and 4 spots, I could see a scenario where they maybe target like a Puna Ford from the Chargers or a Bobby Brown from the Rams, 2 players that won't break the bank, someone that you guys can get for, like I said, relatively cheap. So those are a couple of the targets if they decide to double down on the defensive tackle position. But the main one is Levi. I think he's someone that the Bengals are definitely going to be interested in. And as much as I love Milton Williams, I just think that the Bengals are not going to go to that ballpark and spend north of $20 million annually to get him. And it's sad. I would love Milton Williams. He's my dream signing, my pipe dream. But I'm just trying to be like living in reality. So I think Levi would be the perfect fit when it comes to the Bengals defense. Now moving alongside to the edge, it's very tricky because now that with Trey Hendrickson, like I said, I hope they find some common grounds and pull off, a signing. But as of today, if you used to ask me, I just don't see that happening. I see Bengals, trading Trey, and there's gonna be 2 edge positions that are open. Now, are they gonna go the route where they sign just one and look forward to the draft and drafting one early, round 1, round 2? I don't know. Or if they decide to double dip. Now, regardless of all that, my free agent target for who I think the Bengals will be targeting is excuse me, is Azeez Ojulari from the Giants. Now, Bengal fans are kind of like wishy-washy when it comes to Azeez, because they see him as just like a coverage sack guy. But what I think is just, if he goes to a new scenario with a new team, I truly think he can break out. And he's only 24 years old, and he's really athletic. So I just feel like Giants didn't really reach that full potential when it comes to him. So I feel like Azeez Ojulari would be a perfect fit for the Bengals defense. And we all know that Bengals reportedly had interest in trading for him last season. So I feel like Bengals are still going to be interested in Azeez and try to bring him here to Cincinnati. Maybe like a 4-year, $40 million deal. He's not someone that's going to break the bank. I feel like you can get him for like, $10 million annually. So Azeez to me would be the perfect fit for this Bengals defense. Moving forward, they probably want to go young on this defense. So he's a perfect fit. He's going to be 25 this season. So I just think, why not with Azeez Ojulari? Now, if they do decide to go double dipping on that defensive end position, I know a lot of Bengal fans brought up the name Malcolm Kuntz, but for me personally, I just don't see it, especially with his agent being David Mulugeta. And guys, like, as long as players have clients, or if their agent is David Mulugeta, until proven otherwise, I will not think Bengals would have interest in those players. Until I see Bengals actually try to sign a player that's under David Mulugeta, that would prove me wrong. But until then, I always hesitate when players are under Mulugeta, because I just don't feel like they're gonna reach a deal with them. I feel like there's bad blood, honestly, between Bengals and Mulugeta, which is crazy. An agent and a team not getting along, but I just think that's where we stand right now. And until proven otherwise, I'm just not gonna be targeting players that are under Mulugeta. So I think Malcolm Kuntz, as much as a good fit he would be, I don't think it's gonna happen, especially with him being under Mulugeta, which is sad. But like I said, until proven otherwise, I'm not gonna be looking at players that are under him. So another guy, so if they were to double dip, another guy with Baron Browning getting his extension to re-signing with the Cardinals, the defensive end position free agency class is starting to really thin out. So I don't know where they would go, honestly. Maybe they just sign Azeez Ojulari and just move forward in the draft and draft one in round 1. So we'll see when it comes to defensive end position. But as of today, free agency starts tomorrow. Those are the positions that the Bengals will be addressing in free agency: defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, and guard. Now, the dark horse to me is safety. The biggest question mark moving into this season is whether or not Bengals keep Geno Stone. Like I said, it's gonna be really hard to see what route they go to, whether they keep him or not. To me personally, I don't think he's a really good fit when it comes to Al Golden's defense. But time will tell. Maybe they want to work with him and see if they can bring out the best in him, because he finished the season strong. But like I said, is that what Al Golden is looking for? He wants a strong tackler and a leader that can communicate well when it comes to the safety play. So we'll see. Time will tell. But if the Bengals were to decide to move on from Geno Stone and they wanted to sign his replacement, I think the perfect free agent would be Julian Blackmon from the Colts. He has plenty of experience on the free safety. He has a lot of reps over there, and he's a really good tackler, and I feel like he'll be an upgrade for Geno Stone and someone that won't break the bank. So if they want to go that route, I could see that happening. So as of right now, that's my dark horse pick when it comes to free agency, signing a safety to replace Geno Stone. But like I said, time will tell. We'll find out, in the next coming days. And since this is free agency week that's starting tomorrow, whatever moves that the Bengals make, I'll be making my Bengals in Paradise episodes. This is a special free agency week, so whatever moves that the Bengals decide to do, I'll be making an episode on all that. So you guys will have me a lot for next week. I have to shuffle things around, but I'm more than welcome to make these episodes to announce signings or trades or all these kinds of stuff. And I'm just excited. It's free agency eve. Free agency is tomorrow, and it's very exciting time. And I just hope Bengals can make the right moves and make Bengal fans feel like happy again. So time will tell on that. But until then, Bengal fans, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully, if you see this video, hopefully some good things happen today. Like I said, hopefully there's a Tee Higgins signing, or a Trey Hendrickson trade or extension, or a Jamar Chase extension. But it's Sunday, still plenty of time to do some big moves. So I hope Bengals can make some big moves today. Other than that, Bengal fans, thank you for tuning in again to another Bengals in Paradise episode. Have a great rest of your day. Hoo day.